Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to another class. Let me do the quick test here, just to see if everything is working fine. Hello, testing. Hello, testing. Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to another class. Okay, so the sound is okay. Let's go. In today's class, we'll learn about arithmetic operation. Looks boring for someone that doesn't like math, but I guarantee you it's very simple math. But it's very important that you understand some details. Otherwise, it will be very hard to understand some problem solution. So pay attention because most of the things you already know. There is one little thing that probably you forgot, but is very important. Okay, so let's go. What I already did is I created this file and then I update our entry point program. Oh, I didn't. Let me do it now. So arithmetic operations dot run. So right now we have almost nothing in our file. I just added this link and I put a note to myself to talk about operation priority. That is important. So let's open this URL. So this is the Microsoft.NET, like C# page about the operation, arithmetic operation, C# reference. As you can see, there are two types, unary and binary. So unary is because we only have one operand. The binary needed two. It's like we add something to something else, or multiply something to something else. And those like increment, decrement, plus and minus, we only have one operand. So there is a observation here. All integral and float point numeric types support this operand. So everything we are learning here works for integer and for float points, for decimals. There is one particular one, division, that I want to explain, that for integer, we need to understand a little detail and this reminder as well. So I will skip this increment operator for now. We will see this later, but let's first look the basic operation. So we have multiplication is a star, division is a slash. There is one detail here. Division could be the integer division, the one that you learn in the early grades, where there is no decimal part. We try to divide something and there is a reminder. Or there is a decimal division where we always have only one result and there is maybe some fraction there. There is some decimals. Let me see what else. There is some float point division, the reminder. I have to show you this, and then so this is the documentation. You can follow what is in there. But now let's go to our example, what I want to show. First thing, let's call here two variables called number 1, 10. Or even better, let's do this. Let's input this number. We learned about last class already. So let's do this. Console.write number 1. And then let's read that variable from the keyboard. What you do? Console.readLine, remember? However, this is we want to get an integer number. So let's do a int.parse, because whatever comes as a string from the keyboard, we want to convert to an integer. We'll do the same idea for number 2. I'll do a little copy and paste here. Probably we'll do a lot of mistakes in our career by doing copy and paste and forget to change something. So now what we do, we have two numbers that the user, every time that run the program, is going to provide to us. So let's create a variable called sum, and then let's tell, okay, this variable will receive number 1 plus number 2. So nothing new here. If you want to add two variables, we can just do this. So the plus operator we can have two variables, or we could have something else, plus 5. We can put an expression that make mathematical sense. We can add two variables, and you can add a constant. We all know already that when we have a variable here, actually is whatever is stored in that variable. So we could come here and do a console.writeLine and do maybe some interpolation. And we learn about the last class. We put $, and then we can say something like this. Oops, sorry. Like number 1, and then I put the string plus number 2 equals to, and then the sum. So that is why the string interpolation is cool, because we can compose our string by whatever is stored in this variable, space, plus, space, wherever is stored in this variable, space, equals, space, the sum, wherever is stored in sum. So if we save, we can put a breakpoint here just so we can pick what is going on, and I run it. So this way, our program is not always run with the same values. Wherever we run, we can, let's say here, 7 plus 3. This will be the sum. And then there is one mistake here, because we are saying 7 plus 3 is equals to 15. Because I like to give this example, so I could say this, plus 5 equals to this. Let's run again, and then we can see the result. Let's put now 3 and 9. So we're gonna add it. Look, this variable here now has 3, because we typed 3, and 3 was converted to 3 as a string, was converted to an integer and stored that variable. Looks how cool there is. We are able to put in our computer memory a value that comes from our user mind, and he type in the keyboard. That is so cool. We have now the variable sum, and then we can print that. Just for the sake of simplicity, I will take out this plus 5, just to be more like meaningful. The same thing, if you want to see the difference, you'll be number 1, or I can call here minus, or difference, or let's call different, diff, minus 1, oh, number 1 minus number 2, number 2. And I can do this as well, and just update, number 1 minus number 2 equals to diff. This is something that has to be clear in our mind, the idea of variables. Variable is something that is going to store a value, and that value depends on the type. Now let's run our program. And then let here like 7 and 2. We calculate the sum, we print that, we calculate the difference, we print that. Let's remove the breakpoint just to make things faster. We run again. And then I put like 2 and 9. So look, the math works. 2 minus 9 is minus 7. So that is the basic math that everybody knows. No one will be in trouble with the math we're going to be learning here. If we want to expand this example, I can even do like this. Let me do this. I will copy this, and then I will call this guy multiplication. To multiply numbers, we use star, and then here put star, and then here I put mult. Okay, so let's run this one. I put 8, 8 and 7. So 8 multiplied by 7 is 56. Now there is something very interesting. So let's do the same. And I'll call this division. So division is slash. So I'll fix this and then here as well. So I'll put a breakpoint here so we can just do a guess here. Let's run it. And let's see what happened. Oh, there is a bug. What is the bug? Show errors. Oh, somehow I typed 8 here. Now let me save and then run again. It's showing this error there, but I guess it's just a bug. It should not be there. Okay, so let's type 7 and then 2. So everything else worked fine. Addition, subtraction, multiplication. Look this, number 1 is 7, number 2 is 2. When you do the division, look what happened. Div will receive only 3. And we would expect 3.5 because 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. 3.5 if you are thinking about decimal. But if you are thinking about integers, because look, number 1 and number 2, they are integers. Do you remember? We converted this to integers. So C#, Java, and some other language, what they do is, this division is going to be executed based on the type of the variables. If both are integers, the result will be the integer division. And that is why you need to understand this concept here. Let me just refresh our mind, because the first division that we learned was this way. So let's open this guy here, this scalable draw. Let me go here and do reset canvas. So let's do this. We'll try to divide 7. Let me make this a big test. 7 by 2. It's funny because in Brazil, we learn division like this. Oh, sorry. I know that in Canada and US, the way that you organize is different, but let me do in Brazil, that is the way that I know. We think like this. We want to divide 7 by 2. So what is the integer division? It's like that. We want to get 7 things, and we create groups of 2. How many 2 we need to go to 7? Our mind already has our kind of multiplication table, and we know, well, we need 3. But why is 3? Because if we get 2, 2, and 2, this will be equal to 6. So then we have 6. Why did it put another 2 here? Because if we put another 2, we'll go to 8. That is above 7. So we don't do that. And what we do, well, with 3 2's, we have 6. However, there is a reminder that is 1. And this we call dividend. Oh, no, sorry. This is the dividend, divisor. This is division. And this is the reminder. So if 2 variables, or if the 2 operands are integer, if we use the slash, we get this. If we want to get the reminder, we use the symbol, %. So we have, for integer division, we have 2 possible results. When we are kids, we learn to do this way. I'm pretty sure something like this. We have like, let me copy this. We had like 7 apples, something like along this line. 7 apples And then, oh, sorry, here. And then we like to divide in groups of 2. Okay, so we say, oh, we want to divide, oh, sorry, let me go here. We want to divide in groups of 2 apples. So then what to do? Something like this. We're gonna get those 2. Oh, so I'm sorry. Those 2. Those 2. So how many groups of 2 we have? Like this. 1, 2, and 3. So we can give 2 apples for 3 people, and then we have 1 apple left. So the result of this operation is 3, and the remainder is 1. It's exactly this guy. So if we are doing a division operation like this, we can do 2. We need to do 2 operations. Depend on what we really need. But imagine that we want to understand the full division. So this will be remainder. And remainder is the percentage. And here show this. So what I would say is that this remainder, I can tell this one. So equals to this. So let's put a breakpoint here and let's see what's happening. I run it. Let's put the number 7 and 2. 7 divided by 2. Integer is 3. And the remainder of 7 by 2 is 1. Oh, we print the wrong number here. See how we have to pay attention? So I forgot to... The IDE was telling me this. Oh, you declare this variable, but you never use it. So I forgot when I copy and paste to update here. Let me remove the breakpoint and let's run. Let's type here 7 and then 2. Reminder. Now let's do an exercise here. What if we are trying to divide, let's see here, 7 by 3? Well, we need 2 groups of 3, that then we're going to have 6, and the remainder is 1. If I try to divide 8 by 3, will be 2 groups of 3, that are going to be 6, and then the remainder is 2. Now, one question. Pause, try to answer, and then you check here. What if you try to divide 3 by 7? Do you remember how we do that division? This is important because there is one problem, a few problems that we will solve that you need to know this. The idea is the same. How many 7 do you need to make up a 3? Well, 0. From where we are, what is the reminders? 3. Because with 0 7s, we have 0. To make up 3, we need 3. So every time we do an infinite division where the divisor is greater than the dividend, that means the remainder is the dividend, and the division is 0. This is when we are young, we knew about all this, because now our mind goes, we need to put the common here and finish the division. So we can test that by come here, let's run our example. And let's do this. I will put like 3 and then 7. Look here, the division is 0 and the remainder is 3. So that is why I think coding is not hard, but we need to know very well basic things. Otherwise, something is going to happen and then you don't understand. Now let's try this. What if we want to do a decimal division? We don't want to do this, let's call this decimal division. So what you do is you convert one of those to decimal. What is showing here? Oh, of course the result cannot be integer, because if it's an integer, we cannot store the decimal part. That was my bad. So what is different here is the same operator. However, one of them we convert to decimal. This could be there or could be here. Or if we want to do a little bit different, we could already read these numbers as decimal and then parse as decimal. But if you have two integer numbers and we want to get the decimal division, you have to convert one of them to decimal. So let's put a breakpoint here and see what happens. Let's put 7 and then 2 will be here. Look, this guy is 7. That is integer. If I select this, right click and do add watch. Look, that number now is a decimal. And number 1 is converted to decimal. And then we're going to divide by 2. And do you see 3.5? And then you print it. Oh, sorry. Another bug here. I have to print decimal div. You're going to realize why coding there is so many mistakes, so many bugs, because we do a lot of copy and paste. It's our fault. And then we forgot to update this. Look this. This is a bug that I forgot to put this one here. Is that why we always have to test very well? Otherwise, we're going to let those mistakes, those bugs go. So now let's run. And then let's put the same. 7 divided by 2. So it's very important that you understand about this. For decimal division, one of the operands must be of a decimal type. Could be decimal, could be float, could be decimal, float, and what is the other one? I forgot now. Come on, Jose, what is going on? Decimal, float, and let's take a look at last class. So data types. Decimal, float, and where is it? Double. Okay, double is a default. When we don't, when you just put a constant, remember that you have to put a little m and a f for decimal and for float. So this is very important because when you are using AI later on, AI is not going to explain you those details. You may, do a division, and then you see an integer result. It's a bug that we know already. This screen, this field is only showing the integer numbers, not showing the decimal. You already know, okay, we are dividing integer numbers, so C# think that is an integer division. If we need to know the remainder, we have to use this operator here. Cool? Let's go back to that URL to see what I missed. So, okay. Now we go up to the begin and look to this unary operator. Do you see there is plus, plus, minus, minus, and then plus, and then minus? Of course, if you get a variable, I will call like this, int number one negative. Come on. I put minus number one. So this will change the signal. As we expect in math, this will write number one negative equals to the variable. Oh, I forgot to put the dollar here. Remember, interpolation, need the dollar. Number one negative. Make no difference if I put plus, because the plus are not changed. The negative, if the number is negative, became positive. If the number is positive, become negative. And the plus doesn't change. Okay, plus with plus is plus, plus with minus is plus. So multiply, plus multiply by plus is positive, plus multiply by negative is negative. So doesn't change anything. So let's put a breakpoint here so we can see what is going on. Not there, here. 10 and 3. So the number one is 10 minus number one will be minus 10. When we print it, we'll see minus 10. Cool? Now let's learn about those increments. We have plus plus and minus minus. This is very interesting because of this. I will declare a variable call here that I will call I, and I will receive 0. So look how interesting this is. If I say console.writeLine E++, that means when there is one variable, a numeric variable with plus plus, this variable will be incremented by 1. However, the effect is only observable in the next line. So if I do this, what happened is, in this line, let's do interpolation here to be like more, if I say I is equals to and this one I remove this. So that means in this line, I will still be 0. But the next line will be 1. Because we said, okay, I want to increment this variable, but only the next line. So let's run this example so you can see what happened. Let me remove this breakpoint here. We have to type some numbers here for the previous example. So see, I is 0. And we are telling print I plus plus. So I plus plus means in this line, I is still 0. But in the next line, he was incremented by 1. So now it is 1. If we do the inverse, if you do plus plus first, that means that even in this line, A is already incremented by 1. So that means in this case will be already 2, and the next line 2 as well. Let's put a breakpoint here so we can see what is going on. So it's very common when we just want to increment a variable about 1 unit, that is happen a lot in coding, we just put that plus plus. So 10 and 7, and then look here, I is 1. We are printing plus plus I, so that means we are already going to print 2. And in the next line, of course, it's already 2. So there is some certification exam that they put like combination of this and then what is the value that should be printed here. I'm printing, but we could do something like this as well. Int j will receive plus plus, oh, I plus plus. So how much do you think j is going to receive? And how much do you think I is going to be the next line? So here, I will do this. I will print this, and then j will be equals to j. Let me put a breakpoint here, and then we can see. Guys, this look kind of boring, but it's very important because it's the foundation. Later on, we're going to use this to build a lot of things cool. In a few classes, we're going to be make some little games and things like that. So I promise you will be very entertaining. So let's put the two numbers here just to show. And then what we are doing here, look, I is 1. We are printing plus plus, so we go there, and then we already saw this. This is the case now. Actually, the breakpoint should be here. We are saying j is going to receive I plus plus. J is going to receive whatever I has. In this case, 2. However, I is going to be increment for the next line. So look, j is 2, but I now, because of the plus 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 plus, is 1 unit, 1 extra unit. So now we have 3 and 2. Cool. The same idea to minus minus, but instead of increment, it will be a decrement. The same idea. If minus minus is before, we're going to decrement in that same line. If it's after, it will be for the next line. Cool. And we do have some other operation as well. That is something like this. Imagine that we want to do e equals plus 5. This looks like very strange, but this is the same as I plus I, oh, I receive I plus 5. It's just a short way to increment I by 5. This is like, oh, I is going to receive whatever it has plus 5, plus 10, plus 15, plus whatever we need. This could be plus, could be minus, could be multiplication, could be division. It's not that common. I use this, it's rare, but just to let you know, if we print I here, we can copy this. Or we could do something like this. I minus 2. We can see what happened. I put a breakpoint here so we can see what happened in this case. So look, I is I. Oh, it's 3. 3 plus 5 is 8. So I receive 8. Is that right? Oh, sorry. What happened here? Oh, wait. Am I going crazy? Oh, sorry. I have to type. So we are here. I is 3. And I say I is going to receive I plus 5. So I should be going to 8. What happened here? Am I going crazy? No. Yes. Da, da, da. What? What am I doing here? Plus 5. Wait, did I change? is this. Oh my God, if that was the case, I am, let it run and see. Oh, I think that is the case, is plus equals. Sorry, that was my confusion. Never mind. Now, yes, is the operator, math operator first and then equals after. My bad, my bad. So now we just need to fix this other one here, is minus equal. Forgive me, guys. This is something that I don't know how I mess this because I use a lot. Sometimes happen, no? It's end of the day, 9:30. I'm good giving excuse, right? So let's do this, and then this is plus equals means that variable plus this, the value plus this one. So it'll be 8, and then minus 2 will be back to 6. And just to here somewhere, we should see those, not if it's here or another place, but it's let me see if it plus equals. Yeah, it's called compound assignment. Let me copy this here and I'll put there. It's called here. And now the last thing that I didn't forget is about operation priority. Imagine that we want to do average of numbers. We already read number 1, number 2. Let's read here the number 3 as well. So int number 3 equals to int dot parse console dot read line. And then let's do this. Decimal average. I will do a mistake here, just you can figure out what is going on. Number 1 plus number 2 plus number 3 divided by 3. I want to find the average, so I'm adding 3 numbers and divide by 3. Can you see what is wrong here, Ed? What could be wrong? So if we do something like this, console dot write line, and then I do interpolation. Something like this, number 1, number 1, or something like this. The average of number 1, number 2, number 3 is then the variable average. Let me put a breakpoint and let's see what is wrong here and why we need to understand about the priority of the operation. So if we run this, oh, there is some error. What is the error? Oh, not read the key, read line. I put like 7, 11, and let's skip this. Where we are. Oh, we are about to read the third number because we didn't do this. Console dot write number 3. We put the read line, but we didn't put an output to let us know, oh, the computer is expecting or waiting for the number 3. So let's go here, 11, 7, and number 3 will be 5. So look what's gonna happen. 11 plus 7, 19, plus 5, 24. However, in the math, the division and multiplication operators has a higher priority. So we'll first divide 5 by 3, and then we'll add. Look the result. Because it'll be 11, 19 plus 0. So what happened here is the average is even higher than this. So this was a big mistake. If I calculate the average, how come the average is bigger than any of the numbers? The average should be between them. Because we have to raise the priority of the addition. So we must to put it like between parentheses. So we are telling the computer, first you need to add everything, and then we'll divide. So let's remember this number, 1175. Oh, I can see that now, 11, 7, and 5. So now everything will be added and then divided. There is still one thing here that, what is that? We are using the integer division. So we should get one of those and then convert to decimal. Oh, sorry, not there, here. 7 and then 5. This is division. And we already know if we want to do some little thing here, we can put N2 to only maybe 4 decimals is good. Let's run again. 11, 7, and then 5. Good. That was the idea for today's class. And this is how we're gonna build our toolbox for software engineer. Is little by little, but understand the little thing, because this make a big difference later on. Okay? So I hope you enjoy it. Forgive me for the silly confusion here. But this is it. You don't need to know anything more complicated than this math. Calculate a percentage, and that is it. Most of the application, all the math that we do is basic operation. There is nothing complicated, algebra, anything like that, unless you're gonna dive into under the hood of AI, because part of AI, for example, is a lot of matrix multiplication and all that. So there is algebra there, linear algebra, but for building application, this is it. There is nothing more complicated than this. Cool. And we're going to do a lot of exercise, so we're going to refresh your mind. So thank you for participating, and God bless you. See you next class. Cool. And we're going to do a lot of exercise, so we're going to refresh your mind. So